Right, so I'm back again. Just messing with this Milliput. So it's two of these. Welcome back to Niz Random. Like I said, you cut two equal pieces. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna mix these two guys. And what I want to do, this is a basic figure metal mass on this guy. So I'm gonna use the Milliput and make them bigger and stronger. So what we want to do is, what I like to do is I just like to thin it out, make a roll of it, get it like that with both of them, and I intertwine them and then I just keep mixing them together. And then I go back to making a little roll here. And that's basically what you're going to be doing when using Milliput. Take them and I just start twisting them. Now depending on how much you use, like me, I'm using them a lot. So it's going to take a couple of tries of mixing and what have you. So basically, we're gonna try and make this guy's arms bigger and his chest bigger. Maybe give him better abs or more abs or whatnot. Now I guess this is from the Kozlova. I think his name is Kozlova or something like that. From wrestling WWE. And I'm gonna stand him next to a He-Man figure, which is pretty much, he's a little taller than He-Man. But I'm gonna be using this He-Man as a model to make his arms bigger and whatnot. And He-Man stands about, I think it's 7 inches. Put them together. And you want the right ratio of Milliput, because if not, it won't get hard and it'll just stay soft. That happened to me when I made this battle cat for He-Man, but into a rhinoceros. So no. So let's keep mixing this guy up. Let me take my ring off. Just gotta keep mixing it. It gets hard after a couple hours. Let's see. Let's read the instructions. I usually wait till the next day. It's for model making and sculpting for car body, plumbing, caravan or boat repairs, and many more uses. Oh, I didn't know this was for cars. Versatile putty which adheres to and will seal or bond metals, wood, plastics, glass, tile, brick, cement, etc. Can be sculpted and when set can be turned, sawed, drilled, tapped, filled, sandpapered, painted, or cellulose sprayed. Can be used for mold making and can be cast. Find extensive use in industry. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought this was just for model making. But it does say will set right here. It says, oh, where'd it go? Right here. Will set underwater. So if you're gonna use this for if you want to use this for some type of water thingy, you can go ahead and do it. Now I honestly think this is too sticky, so I think I'm gonna use more of the one in the blue. Just a little slice. A little slice more. And throw it in here. I think it's too sticky. See how it kind of tends to stick on your hands. So you can thin this bad boy out. I've never done it this thick, to be honest with you. Ball it up. If you wonder, if you're ever looking back at this and it's not, I'm doing this live, but if you're looking back at this when it's not live, you can fast forward this guy. If you have a clean, anything that, if it's not clean, everything's gonna stick to it. Once again, I'm gonna use this He-Man figure to try to build the muscle on this guy, and I'll customize it to whatever I want. If you look at the definition, it's pretty thin compared to this bulkiness here. If you look at the two, one slimmer, but we're gonna go ahead and make that more bulkier, because I like my figures nice and bulky. Always making them look weak. WWE Mattel, you should come out with a line that's like Super Builders WWE figures that are just like massive. I think that'll be a good line that you can make that will sell. You're in this for gain, so there we go. So I'm gonna just roll this into a ball. Take a piece. I think it's pretty much so what I'm gonna do is roll into a ball here. Okay, I'll look at my model arm here. I'm gonna just split this one exactly in half, and each ball I'm gonna use on either side. That seems about right. So it's more elongated than it is wide. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and just roll it out a little bit, just get it oval, oblong, and just stick it there. Start rolling it in. Now don't worry about this little see, it's kind of breaking apart there. So what I do is I dip my finger in water and I just smooth it out, and it goes away. And it helps if you do that, you sand less. If you're like me who don't like to sand much, you don't want too much water though. So go ahead and smooth that out. Smoothing it to the other side. We got a bigger arm compared to this side. Okay. Smooth it out. Take my nail here. or anything flat. Get in between the crevice right there. A little bit more water. Help smooth it out more. That's a pretty nice bulk. Since it's clay, you can kind of get it into the shape you want. Now, I actually want his bicep to be even a lot bigger. So we're gonna go ahead. Let me fix the camera here. We're gonna go ahead and stick more on the other side now. Let me break a piece off. Go ahead and cover this up. Start bringing it down. Once again, don't worry about all those little holes and cracks that are happening there, because that'll just smooth out with water. See that? Oh, you got a line there, so we're gonna make that round, and the water helps a lot with that, smoothing it out. Okay. Now you can take this apart if you want. Take the arm out if that's what you're trying to do. Get all this excess water out. Take the arm apart and you can work on it better. Me, I just doing a quick type of tutorial here, which I'm actually look how big this bicep is going to be now. Okay, now it's a little rounder here, and that's okay. I'm gonna make this more round over here. We're gonna take this little piece I had here. Alright. Just make it a little oval and just stick it in right there. And then with the water, we're gonna smooth it out. Too much water, just wipe it off. I'm gonna try to make this more into like a real looking bicep. Which once again, I look at my model here. So bicep is pretty much round on the other side. And you can actually take this and push it. If it's too much on one side, you can take it and push it up into it. That's the beautiful thing about this. Now I already measured 2 different balls. This is gonna be for this side. That way you know how much you're putting on. That way you don't put too much. Just keep rounding it out. Only problem with this is sometimes since it leaves, and you could put gloves on so you don't get dirty, but at the same time, it'll leave your fingerprints in here, and then that'll be more sanding that you have to worry about. Okay, got a little dimple right there. We're gonna push that in, round it out. Now look how big that bicep is compared to the other side. Now this will stay on. It'll stick to it, like the label says. It'll bond once it dries. But if you do a lot of force, you can pop it off. So I recommend you do this to figures you're just gonna display not play with. Now I've had cracks and holes in my figures where I use this putty to just seal it up. Now if you look at it, this is more around here than this side. So actually it looks like it's on the wrong side. But it's because this, I didn't put a definition there. So I'm going to take my putty, roll it up. Just roll it on there and just put it on here. Okay. Now with your finger you can begin to smooth it out. Get some water. Now in my case I'm using water that has paint in it just because it's convenient. But that doesn't matter, doesn't bother it, doesn't harm it or mess it up. I'm giving her a complete resculpt of these arms. Look at that. Now look at this side now. Huge difference. Now with the water, like I said, with the water you could just smooth it out and blend it in. Now our He-Man here, I think he has a definitive tricep right there. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a bigger tricep too. Take some more of our putty. Roll it into shape. Go ahead and stick it on here. Roll it onto here. Now it'll add, now this will like basically, it's kind of like Play-Doh. It'll stick to the other one. So all you're doing is shaping it. I'm going to blend it in right here. Look at that. Now you could do this to basically any figure you want. I know these Mattel figures, they give them skimpy arms, wimpy arms. And now if you want to make them look beefier, you go ahead and do that. Which in some cases I like to do. Even though the person might not be real big in real life, I still like my action figures big. So there's that tricep right there. Oh, sorry. Let's turn this off. Maybe this will help. Let's use this light. Let's see, did that help? The light might be too bright. Smooth this out. Once again, I don't like to sand much. Now, once you do this, try not to touch. Once you finish one side, try not to touch it again. You are going to leave prints. So I got to get the inside now here. Smooth this guy out. And there we go. We have a big arm. Sorry, I don't have a great camera yet. Now I'm just touching it up with water, trying to get as much as my fingerprints out of the way. Now this will harden in about a couple hours. Got the back calf of that tricep now. Very defined now. I'm just doing something real simple and easy. Now with a lot of time on your hands, you can make this look as good as you want. Now I'm doing the same thing with the other side. Alright, let's take our clay, roll it up. I'm going to take a little piece here. I'm going to roll this up and start on this side. So what I like to do is try to make this as long as this arm, as this bicep is. Take that right there. See that right there? I'm going to take some water, bring this guy over, bring some down, stick my nail in here to make it flush. Alright, bring this to the bottom. Okay, so far this is what we got. Now I'm going to take another piece, come around the other side, stick it on. I got some little black pieces from my table. That doesn't matter. Water's your friend with this when you're trying to mold and shape. Alright, so I'm going to just keep bringing it over, making his arms bigger. Just like most men want their arms big. If only we can do this to our arms without lifting. Alright. If building biceps was this easy, huh? Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to put a little strip right there at the top for that little part that's right there. Alright, stick it in. Alright, get some water. I'm not all great at this. I learned this myself. Took pointers from some people on YouTube and began attempting to do it myself. Let's look at both arms. Now this one looks bigger, of course. And you go fill it in trying to match. Look at the other side to help you out. Gonna take this and add more to that tricep right there. Oh, broke off. Take some more water. Smooth it out. Now, of course, you're not going to get both sides equal. As much as you try, you can get real close. As long as you make it look close to it. See, this one has a little more bulge. So I'm going to put the same thing on that side. But it's just like real life, man. It's just like real life. No both arms, no two arms are going to look exactly alike. Because you use one more than the other. But we can certainly try. Smooth this guy out. Just keep going. Alright, there we go, we got that. How's it looking so far? Now you do want to be careful of where you're adding the clay to, because if not, you might hinder the articulation, and that you don't want to do. So here's like a basic line there. So I'm going to take some water and smooth that down so it could be flushed. And you won't really notice that. It'll look like it has no seam. It'll be seamless. And once again, that's going to help out with you not having to sand much. Alright. Now we work that tricep right there. Look at the other side. There's a line. I'm going to try to mimic the other side as well. Now I came on an angle on this one. I know I didn't do that here. But I guess it was this side looked way different though. Let's get some more water. Start smoothing this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing this down. And start pushing down on it. Apply pressure. Smooth this guy out. Alright, now I need another piece here. Roll this guy out. This might be too much. Let me go ahead and stick this on. There's still some water on, so I'm just using whatever leftover water is on the figure to. Now, what I'm doing here, if you're wondering what I'm doing, this has a. Oh, I just squeezed that. Look at that. I just squeezed that into the arm. But if you're wondering what I'm doing here, this has a swivel here at the bicep, and I'm trying not to let it hinder or get in the way. So I'm using my nail to push it down. That'll fix in a minute. Look at the bicep. Let's fix that right here. Sometimes I grab with my finger here and then I touch this and I forget. So this has a little crease here. So let me grab a little bit of more putty. make it round, and I'm gonna, oh, what's this little black piece on here? A little fuzz. Anyways, I'm gonna take this on there and push it on there. Okay, get some water, smooth it out, keep smoothing until it's flush in there and round. No creases or crevices. Okay. And there we go. I'll come back here, fix this part. He just pooped. Now, if you're new to my channel, you're not gonna get no foul language on mine. No content here. So it is kid friendly. Those kids who are trying to learn here. Gonna roll this here. I'm looking at both sides just in case I'm altering. Still got my fingers are still moist, there's still water on here. So that's why I'm not dipping back in the water over there. Swivel this out. What I'm trying to do is get that same match. See, I have a muscle right here and right here, and this is blended in. So I'm gonna take another piece right here, roll it out as much as I can. Now I'm starting to feel this starting to get hard already. It's starting to harden out. So you want to do small pieces at a time, not as big as this. Look at this. I'm trying to squeeze this. So try not to do big pieces because it gets hard. It starts getting hard within like 15-20 minutes. Wow, it's been a half hour since I've been doing this. Okay. Now let's see. Them both next to each other. Now they don't look equal. They don't look all equal. One looks bigger than the other. So where I see fit, I'm gonna stick more putty on and get my water and start smoothing it out. Now I do it by hand. I've seen people do this with like a toothpick and apply it by toothpick. I don't mind getting dirty. So what I keep doing is I keep rubbing it in, rub it. And it's gonna get rid of all these creases. Circular motions, move it out. You'll get the feel of it. It's just slime. And it leaves a lot of residue on your finger, which is not a big deal. But as you see, I just took two puny arms, or probably the same, or probably like this, and I just made it bigger. All right. What I do sometimes is I try to make a definition. Let's look at this side. This has a definition there and right here. So I kind of like cut into it, right about there, and I just start with my finger. With my finger here, I'm just pushing it in. And that's how I make a definition there of muscle. So So now I got a guy with huge arms. Now you could, as big as you want the arms, is up to you. Whatever you want to do, you can make them as big as you want. This I'm just trying to do like a nice build. Nothing too drastic, but using, like I said, looking at that He-Man as I do it. So there we got two big huge arms now. Compared to how it was. Let me focus here. There we go. And that's how you make big arms. That's how you customize arms. And once again, just take water and just begin to smooth it out. Any little spots in there that you don't like, just take some water, dab your finger with water, and start smoothing it out. As you see. Now this is a similar figure. And if you see the difference between arms, look at that. And look at that. I just made them huge. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with this figure, but I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep on here. His forearms are not too, I don't care too much about making them big. I just like to make biceps big. And I like the chest to be bigger. So same thing I did with the arms. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to wet this whole thing because this is really getting hard. Once again, you don't want to waste too much, make too much at once, because then you're wasting your clay away. And for what I did, I didn't need this much clay. So I'm doing the same thing again. I'm making this into a ball. Then I'm gonna split it in half. Once I make a good ball, I'm gonna split it into half, and that's gonna be either side of the chest. So take a blade, not children. Be careful with blades. And you don't have to do this with a blade. I just happen to have this here. So all I'm doing is I'm rolling this out. Okay. And all I'm doing is filling it in here. See that? That's all I'm doing. Now I'm going to take this water, and the water is going to help me space it out. Take a nail or flathead, some type of screwdriver, anything flat. I even used a credit card. Now, this is not going on right as the biceps were because it's starting to get hard already. But I'm trying not to waste what I just made. Now I'm trying to blend this out here. And I'm going to take more water. I'm going to try to shape this up. And then when you paint, it's going to all look good. Now look at that. He has bigger pecs. Now I'm going to try to use this before it gets even more hard, which is what it's doing now. It's giving me a hard time to Now you can do the same thing with this if you want to make a woman's anatomy. All of what I'm doing right now is I'm just pushing. It's get this arm back more. I'm pushing this down. I'm pushing it into the figure. Now, once again, like I said, this is getting hard, so it's not letting me shape it up good enough. Look at that. He has a lopsided chest. So I'm going to just take my finger now, push it into that. Now, another reason it's not sticking is because it was still moist under there. Personally, I think that this clay has gotten too hard to where I can't do much with it anymore. I really can't do nothing with it. It's not holding it. It's not doing what I want it to do. So we're just going to take this off. So while it's wet, try to get as much off of it as you can. This right now is a waste. All this is a waste because this is not going to let me shape it up into whatever way I want to now. In cases like this where I do have too much here, what I do is I try to mold it into something real quick and just let it harden. An example, for example, you can quick make this into oh, God bless me, excuse me. If this was smaller, I could into a sword. Oh, see, it's not even. It's no good, but it's leaving the image there. But it's no good. Well, guys, that's how you make muscles. That's how you make biceps. That's how you make small biceps bigger. See there, I didn't get to blend that in much. You see the difference? Alright, let's see if this flash helps me out now. Oh, it's looking too bright. So anyways, what I'm going to have to do is, with this problem, I'm going to have to sand that down. And I use a real small grit. I think it's maybe 1,000 or something, and I just keep working at it. But there are my two biceps. And I even think it's bigger than the He-Man ones. You can never go wrong with big biceps. But there you go. Thanks for tuning in to Nibs Random. And that, my friends, is how you make biceps bigger. God bless you guys. Take care.